Hey, what's up? So, in this episode, I want to talk specifically about how I can turn a lot of revenue from partnership referrals and how I think about the entire system of creating partnerships and setting up partnerships. For your reference, if you don't know who I am, my name is Lucas and I scaled Twiz, which if you go to twiz.io, you can check it out, to $1.7 million in revenue last year. I'm here to share tips with you guys on how you can do the same for your agencies. So basically, the way it works is I incentivize people predominantly by offering them a residual commission. Now, for our software, we offer about 30% residual commission over the lifetime or for the first 12 months of a contract. And then for the agency, it can range anywhere from 10 to 30% depending on the size of the client, right? And so the way that we've really systemized this over time is by keeping a lot of our partners in close contact with us. We have a list of about 50 to 100 different partners who we regularly check on and ask to send us referrals. And then one of the best ways to actually stimulate referrals, people ask me this all the time, is to actually start sending referrals to them first. Now, when I first started back in 2018, I was 21 and a half basically. And I was just getting going. I really knew nobody, had really no connections. All I knew how to do was just to connect two people to each other and create value. And I always recommend this approach when you're first trying to grow any business, because at the end of the day, it's really the only thing you can do. I mean, there's not a lot of other ways to deliver value if you don't have any money or any access to large. And when I say money, I'm talking about like big money, like $100,000 plus in your bank account, let's say. If you don't have access to something like that, then the only real way you can stimulate growth within your business, in my opinion, is just by providing value to a community, whether through content or through connections. If you can do both, you're going to grow really quickly. And so I did that every single day for a year, the first year that I grew my business. And this was about 2018, around March 2018 to about March 2019. That took me from $0 to $30,000 a month. And then the next 6 months, we went from $30,000 a month to $80,000 a month in sales. And when I look back on it, the reason why is because I was basically cashing in on all of my referrals that I had made over time. And I wasn't needing to be explicit about it. I didn't go and say, hey, it's your turn to send me business. That would have been rude. What I did is, it was a little more sly. I would give so much, knowing that human psychology means that people will start sending them to you. They will. People will start sending you business. And when that does happen, that's when everything starts to go crazy for you. So when I was closing deals, I would close about 15, $1,000 to $2,000 per month contracts a month. And that was great. But 10, when I started to get partnership intros back after doing it for a lot of months, and I started to get these intros back to me, I actually started to get about 5 additional subscriptions closed per month. And if you could think through the numbers here, if $10,000 per month was allowing my business to hit that growth rate of, let's say, $50,000 to $60,000 per month, and I was the only salesperson, then by getting free leads from referrals, from partnership referrals, that was able to stimulate our growth even more. And so we've always been an affiliate and a partnership-focused first company. And that's why my agency now makes over $500,000 a year just from partnership referrals. And so I'd encourage you to do the same thing. I would encourage you to make partnership referrals, to give people value, just to connect the dots. People always love a good connector, and it really helps you stay in the game. It also is good because you get access to deal flow that you probably wouldn't normally get access to, because most really big deal flow tends to come from referrals. And so if you focus on a referral first mentality, then you can actually grow and scale. So my advice is as follows, just to recap. First and foremost, have a good offer for your partnership intros and your partnership referrals that you're making. You want to make sure that if you're going to be giving out referrals, that you have something good for them that would incentivize them to send people to you. Typically, that's between 10 to 30% of the first year contract. I usually recommend that you do about a 12-month arrangement for commission, because if you do too much commission over infinite time period, like you say it's residual for the lifetime of the customer, that could be 3 years, and it could be so far past the point when somebody made an intro that it's no longer relevant to keep paying them. Now, obviously, that is what I did when I first started, and I learned that doesn't continue to incentivize affiliates. What ends up happening is they're making, what I found the sweet spot is about $2,000 per month extra, just free money. That's when they start to slow down a little bit. And that's natural, it's going to happen. But if you can limit the amount of time that they can make commission, then it's not going to be a slowdown. In fact, once they hit that number, they're going to realize they have to keep sending you referrals, or else their commission is going to drop off within like 10 or 12 months, right? So nobody wants that. So they're going to want to keep sending you business. And that's essentially what I look for. Now, once you figure that out, then the next thing you want to do is just focus on being the person that people go to for connections. And what I mean by this is you want to actually build a roster of people in your network who are good at specific things, because then people will actually start to come to you for those specific things. And that's really when you start to see that bump in sales, that free bump, because people want to return the value. And usually it's about a 50% bump in your sales when you actually start to get those referrals inbound. And so again, just to recap everything, make a good offer, make sure that you have a good roster of people to send people to, build credibility, build reliability. It's something that you can be able to cash in on for the rest of your life. And it's partly why I've been able to remove myself completely from my agency, because I know that even if I fired everyone today, I would still get referrals from my agency because I've given out so many over the years. And that's something you want to do. And you want to I typically schedule about 5 to 10 minutes a day. This is what I was doing when I first started. Now I've actually enhanced the crap out of it because I built a software that actually does this. So it actually even enhances it faster. But what I used to do is I used to spend 5 to 10 minutes just making intros. And that would create so much value within the community that I was building, that people would want to work with me and want to work together. And it would be all this positive network effects is what it's called. I'll actually end on that note here because I don't think a lot of people know what network effects are or how they work specifically. But you don't have to be a $1 trillion software company to have network effects. You don't have to be Facebook. You don't have to be these big brands. In fact, all you need to do is start some sort of community where you are the focal point of all these different individuals. Because what happens is everybody knows who you are, which then increases the likelihood that they're going to connect with each other because they can reference you or an institution. So if it's your business or a group or organization, you can also have that be the focal point. But you want to have something that people can refer back to, because that's going to make more familiarity between the two individuals or within you and them. And this network effect kicks in, because then since there's familiarity, that person has more trust sending the other person value and referrals. And then what happens is every incremental person that's added to the network adds more value for everybody else, because now your roster is getting larger without you actually having to do anything, right? Amazon used this to scale rapidly. Tesla used this to scale rapidly. Any business that has affiliates scales faster than a business without affiliates. That is the key. And that's what I want you to leave with for this episode. And again, you can do this. I know you can. Just make it a daily habit. And then when you're looking at your P&L at the end of the year, you're going to realize that most of your business is coming from referrals. And when I actually talk to agencies, they say about 40-50% of all the revenue they're getting is from referrals. And so I definitely recommend that you focus on that within your agency. So everybody, thank you guys for watching this. If you have any questions, comment below. Feel free to ask me anything you'd like. And I'm really happy to have shared some of these insights for you. Thank you very much.